तो अब ये कैसे करने जा रहे हैं हम लोग, इसका टॉपिक है द चेंजिंग फेस ऑफ इंडियन सोसाइटी. So, Indian society traces its origins to the earliest times, going back to more than 4,000 years. What has evolved today is a complex society, contradictory, rooted in spirituality yet giving way to materialistic attitudes that are downright unethical, voicing its commitment to scientific temper, yet faith in miracles continuing to be ardently nourished, equality among the various groups of people being vouchsafed by the constitution, and yet with the political setup itself exploiting the caste hierarchy. All these contradictions cannot be explained away easily, but they can be seen in the perspective of a society in the process of continual flux. Thus, social change is basically a gradual transformation at the levels of thought, behavior, and actions that does not presuppose either a strictly positive or negative impact. It cannot be limited to one direction only. The factors affecting social change can be classified as demographic, technological, political, economic, cultural, and legal. Demographic factors include high population growth, which leads to poverty, illiteracy, housing, and health problems, all of which affect the social climate. Technological factors like AI, machine learning, big data, blockchain, and ChatGPT have ushered significant changes in the society. Rapid industrialization has brought economic development and urbanization, but alongside has come the growth of slums in urban areas as well as great disparity in standards of living. Economic upliftment has also been brought about by abolishing landlordism. Cultural factors like Sanskritization, the process explaining the upward mobility of a subcaste group in a caste system, have brought about changes in the caste hierarchy, traditional attitudes, and customs of people. The law, too, has acted as an instrument of social change with its measures to deal with such a change. Even political factors have heralded social change. Election, for instance, have not only ensured the participation of the entire populace in the government forming process, but have also extended a politicized dimension to social entities as the caste system. Family, the backbone of the social structure, has undergone a transformation under the impact of industrialization, urbanization, education, and migration in search of jobs. Nuclear families have been replacing joint families in towns and cities. Structural joint families, that is, those with common residence and property, are being substituted by functional joint families. Accompanying change in family structures, there has been a change in the attitude towards work and a revamping of the traditional male female role. The view that women as a class are inferior to men is slowly changing. Today, women have begun stepping out of their homes to take up gainful employment, even in the areas traditionally regarded as male domains. Their role in the decision-making process is assuming significance. Women are coming out and raising their voices to put an end to the social ills that they have been subjected to in the past. Incomplete social change has, however, also burdened women further, for in most of the cases, the change has been superficial, without the accompaniment of basic thought transformation. For instance, though the women's economic independence is beginning to be acknowledged and she is being allowed to strive for it, she is denied the benefits such as independence ought to give. The woman is even expected to hand over her salary to her husband or in-laws in most urban families. Though enough women are provided with job opportunities, they are in reality considered less competent than men. While a caste group conscious of its traditional lower status tries to emulate the practices and beliefs of a higher caste in order to raise its status, the upper castes have found alternative bases of social status in a westernized lifestyle, such as higher education and migration to cities and even abroad. Technological innovations have also changed the common people's way of life. There was a time when crossing the seas was considered as a sin. Witness now the affluent jet setting all around the globe. With distances being reduced through development of roads and railways, means of communications revolutionized with satellites, the general awareness of Indians has indeed enlarged. Last paragraph. The changing face of Indian society, however, has different expressions, different moods. While the element of modernity in dress, behavior, and egalitarianism are noticeable, traditional beliefs, even if they are redundant, refuse to give up their hold. Thus, a conflict is created. Inequality in development Loss of values accompanied by a greedy, grasping, mercenary attitude and growing corruption on the part of authorities and the elite have given rise to violent responses from the oppressed and downtrodden. On the cultural level, too, sadly enough, while obscurantist rituals are not discarded, age old values of tolerance, hospitality, humility, and patience are fast fading out. Change is inevitable in a dynamic society, but people have to be enlightened enough to direct that change towards a better future. I think it's up to you to write this last paragraph or not. I think itna bhi suffice karega.